Paging Aitken Robertson to courtroom number 2. The jury is back with a verdict. Members of the jury, how do you find the accused? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty on all accounts, Your Honor.
Welcome to Legally Speaking, brought to you by Aitken Robertson Criminal Law Defense. My name is Melanie van Aarde, licensed paralegal and your host. So today we have a very special guest, Michelle Bain. She's joining us from ASAP Law. ASAP Law is dedicated to representing individuals before the Ontario Review Board and the Consent and Capacity Board on a variety of critical issues. These include involuntary detention in hospitals, community treatment orders, and capacity matters relating to consenting to treatment, managing finances, and other essential decisions. They also advocate for individuals found not criminally responsible for a reason of mental disorder or deemed unfit to stand trial under the criminal code. So today we'll be getting to know Michelle and delving into the important work that she does at ASAP Law. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Melanie. Thank you for having me. It's really great to be here.
Well, it's wonderful to have you on our channel today. Michelle, can you share a little bit about yourself and your background?
Happy to. So I've been in practice since 2011. I graduated from law school in 2010, which was a very long time ago now. And I started my journey, honestly, as a result of a dream I had in high school of becoming a lawyer who did. At the time, I didn't quite know what the word was for it, but I really wanted to do social justice work or work that really moved the needle forward for individuals who may have had difficulty accessing legal resources. And I took a class in high school. It was, introduction to the law. And that was pretty much, I was sold. I said, this is what I want to do. So when I got into law school, it was really exciting. I went to the University of Victoria, Faculty of Law. Prior to that, I attended the University of Toronto and attained my bachelor's degree there. So my university journey was really great. I got to go to school initially at home in Toronto, where I'm from, and then got to experience the beauty of the West Coast when I went to the University of Victoria. So I've been in practice now since 2011, and that makes it 13 years.
Oh, well, wonderful. So in what jurisdiction in Ontario do you currently focus your work in?
So now that I'm working with ASAP Law Barristers, our office is in Peterborough. So we cover the city of Kawartha Lakes. However, we also cover the Durham region area, the Greater Toronto area, clients as far up as Ottawa, as well as clients as far west as Hamilton. So we have quite a broad geographical region that we work out of, and primarily because the work we do is very niche. And there aren't a lot of lawyers in the province working in this particular field, which is patient representative mental health law, which is a very, very niche area.
Michelle, can you elaborate for our viewers maybe on this specific niche area in law that you guys are focusing in?
Absolutely. Your introduction was great. Really kind of a succinct way to say our organization, our firm represents individuals who are brought into mental health hospitals or psychiatric facilities on a Form 1, Form 2. We can get into the details of what all these forms mean, what do these numbers mean, but it essentially means an individual who's being allegedly suffering from a mental breakdown, so much so that they need to be legally detained in a hospital. And that means detained means not allowed to leave. And if you're beyond a one-day hold under a Form 1, if you're getting into staying in hospital up to 14 days, you do have the right to speak to a rights advisor and to have your case assigned to a lawyer. That's myself and the lawyers at our firm. And we do what's called a Form 16 applications. I know this is very form driven, very numbers heavy, but all that means is you have the right to go before the consent and capacity board to contest your involuntary status within the psychiatric facility. We also, of course, do capacity assessments, and that means all individuals in the province of Ontario are deemed capable of making their own health-related decisions. However, under the Mental Health Act, individuals who present with significant mental health issues or psychosis or breakdowns in the community may be subject to a capacity assessment where their most responsible physician or their psychiatrist deems that they are incapable of making a treatment decision based on a legal test that determines whether or not they have the capacity of understanding what the medication treatment is, medication or treatment, so those can be two different things, or if in addition to that, whether or not they appreciate the reasonably foreseeable consequences of either making a decision or not making a decision. So do you have enough capacity within yourself to make a decision that's best for you? That doesn't mean a person doesn't have the right to make a decision that the doctor disagrees with. It's whether or not they can appreciate the information that's being given to them and whether they appreciate the reasonably foreseeable consequences of either following the doctor's direction or not following it.
So, Michelle, you had a very interesting legal journey in your law career. So, would you mind telling our viewers a little bit about your journey?
Interesting makes it sound like I've been doing all this cool stuff, but as much as I wanted to start off as a social justice lawyer, when I came out of law school, the first job I actually was able to attain, which I'm really proud of, it was very competitive, was in corporate law. I articled at Gowling, what was then Gowling, LaFleur Henderson. They're now WLG, I believe, but it was Gowling, LaFleur Henderson LLP back then. And I articled with that firm. I did a split rotation between business law and litigation, which was a fantastic foundation for appreciating how lawyers on both sides of a conversation, whether it's the solicitors who are doing the business and the drafting of contracts, or the litigators who, of course, going into court and arguing about one aspect of a legal matter or another. So that was very interesting to work for clients who had huge budgets, who could afford to hire multiple lawyers to deal with their issues, and the amount of effort and energy that went into that. It was awesome. And at that firm, I was actually recruited into Legal Aid Ontario. They were one of our contacts, and I met at the time, the vice president of the organization, who decided, hey, would you like to come work for Legal Aid? We'd love a person with your background to work here. So I did. And that fit really beautifully with the work I always believed I would be doing. So I actually ended up working in the wonderful area of the city of Kawartha Lakes. I was stationed in Peterborough was my office, and I worked out of the Lindsay Courthouse doing criminal work on behalf of legally aided clients, as well as family law work. And I sat on a variety of committees with the chiefs of police, the bail committee, the youth bail committee, all kinds of interesting different individuals in the community who were figuring out how to make sure everybody had access to the law, which was really great. Following that, I became manager of legal services for Legal Aid. So I covered the area from Kingston, Ontario, down to the Durham region. So we had a lot of community engagement during that point. And that was a really great way to get to know the judges, the justices of the peace, other private sector lawyers in the area, and to see what kind of community-based problems they were facing and how Legal Aid could and was already adding their voice to making to alleviating some of those pressures, and what other information that we could have provided to the community to make things easier. Following that, I worked for General Counsel and the Vice President of Legal Aid, and our office reported directly to the Chief Executive Officer of the organization and the board. So we had to answer questions for the province's largest law firm, which is Legal Aid Ontario. People don't often think of Legal Aid in that way, but it's the firm in the province with the most lawyers working every day, often on weekends. People forget that. We do weekend court as well. And I was able to see from a bird's eye view the type of legal challenges the organization was facing, the type of legal challenges the province was facing, and I got a really great experience and exposure in policy law and how implementing a policy, whether it was for staff, whether it was for our legally aided client base, whether it was for the general public, how those policies developed to help expand the resources that we had to give access to everyone who was underneath our umbrella to making sure they had access to justice, which was awesome. I can keep going. Following that, during COVID, I had the immense pleasure and privilege of after I did that stint with Legal Aid, I went over and I was the executive director of a province-wide initiative called the Crossover Youth Project, which taught me a lot about what I was seeing on the ground as a lawyer with Legal Aid, which was the overrepresentation of young people from the child welfare system, so children's aid societies or foster care, who were ending up in the criminal legal arena. And the numbers were staggering. How to work within international laws, how to make sure that the most vulnerable among your citizens has access to the most critical resources. So very interesting. And then leaving that area, I was called up by ASAP Law because the mental health law arena in the province of Ontario was growing exponentially. There are so many individuals who are accessing mental health services for the first time, or forcibly being brought into the mental health arena for the first time. And we're seeing a huge uptick in those numbers after COVID. So this is a real privilege to be able to work for this demographic.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us today. And thank you everyone else for joining us on the Legally Speaking Aitken Robertson YouTube channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, take care. Thank you for tuning in to Legally Speaking, proudly brought to you by Aitken Robertson Criminal Defence. We represent clients facing criminal charges all over Ontario, providing you with legal support and dedicated advocacy. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more content, please like and subscribe to our channel. For more information, visit our website. We also offer free books on various types of criminal charges, which you can request on our website or by using the QR codes on your screen now. For legal assistance, call us today or visit our website to request a meeting with one of our experienced lawyers or licensed paralegals. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Legally Speaking.